2020 Vision Radio. Have a good day.
For your finest meats and even sweets, do your shopping at Costco. Yeah. Even your juice, your finest produce.
Well, I see is not your line, call you lyrically inclined.
Refrigerators and for your stove, do your shopping at Costco. Come visit us in East and West Anguilla, Charlestown and Gingerland, in Nevis, Bucklands and Bird
On Target.
St. Kitts,
So I'm your host, Kelvin Daly, and thank you for joining us once again.
Join the conversation.
I looked at it on Facebook and I read the speech and I'm trying to find out what is the commitment to renal failure in Nevis, and I'm yet to find it.
Be a part of the debate.
What he needs to do is to allow the people to do their work in accordance with the relevant legislation, and he must not overreach, because when he makes those suggestions, he is in a sense misleading the population here.
Speak your mind. Defend your country. Call in. Numbers to call: 869-669-7312. That's 869-669-7312 or 917-460-2187. That's 917-460-2187. On Target, here on 2020 Vision Radio, every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. On Target. Be a part of it. On Target.
So I'm your host, Kelvin Daly, and I thank you for joining us once again.
Join the conversation.
I looked at it on Facebook and I read the speech and I'm trying to find out what is the commitment to renal failure in Nevis, and I'm yet to find it.
Be a part of the debate.
What he needs to do is to allow the people to do their work in accordance with the relevant legislation, and he must not overreach, because when he makes those suggestions, he is in a sense misleading the population here.
Speak your mind. Defend your country. Call in. Numbers to call: 869-669-7312. That's 869-669-7312 or 917-460-2187. That's 917-460-2187. On Target, here on 2020 Vision Radio, every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. On Target. Be a part of it.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are strictly those of the participants and do not represent those of 2020visionradio.com or its advertisers.
Let us put our hands together for Papa Wheeler.
Placing the campus suicide bomber.
Bringing them to shout for me.
I want them to roar, boy, roar for me.
Anything you want, you go get, boy. I'm mixing up the soca
With some
Hindi and some rumba.
chutney and lavandera.
ID no
Necessary, boy. Whisker lips and mercenary.
bringing them to shout for me.
I want them to roar, boy, roar for me. Maintain your impulso. Total zombie and beater. Take it away.
The local fans decreasing.
By the numbers they keep dropping.
No, but they don't shout.
Shout no more. Like they used to shout before.
Boy, disgruntled fans, they crumbling about promise songs. Fail on delivering. Start song and can't finish it.
It's standard English, singing stupidness, nonsense.
Why don't you sing a song and dance again?
Tell me what happened to me fair share. When the money disappear.
Ooh yeah, boy.
Stewardship in question here.
Bringing them to shout for me.
I wanted to roar, boy, roar for me.
I'm gonna be rocking down the complex.
Yes, if they don't throw me king, boy, I do me like the doctor, placing their campus suicide bomber.
Bringing them to shout for me.
I wanted to roar, boy, roar for me.
I'm gonna be mashing up the complex.
Yes, if they don't throw me king, boy, I do it like the doctor, placing their campus suicide bomber.
Boy, bringing them to shout for me.
I wanted to roar, boy, roar for me.
Anything you want, you go get. Boy, I'm mixing up the soca.
With some Hindi and some rumba, chutney and lavandera.
ID no necessary.
Boy, whisker lips and mercenary.
Bringing them to shout for me.
I wanted to roar, boy, roar for me. Maintain your impulso, total zombie and beater.
Boy,
Take it away.
I'm gonna be chartering airlines.
See bridge and see taxi. Bringing them to shout for me. I want them to roar, boy, roar for me. You don't know.
You got to spend big money.
If you wanna win monarchy,
I go got the diaspora.
420 in my corner, boy. Share the life, boy.
Press like, subscribe, sharing.
All here the diaspora's king.
Your king go be knocking down your airport.
Knocking down, broken down
Hospital walls.
training geothermal.
Let the Jewish people sing the song. These Hebrew boys don't understand. Begging them to shout for me. like the doctor president come to suicide bomber. Bring it to shout for me. I wanted to roar boy, roar for me. Anything you want, you go get. Yes, I'm mixing up the soca with some Hindi and some rumba, chutney and la bandera. I need no necessary. Please calypso mercenary. Boy, bring it to shout for me. I wanted to roar for me. Vente del pulso, todo son bienvenida. Kick the momentum. Everybody is welcome. Thank you. Papa Wheeler.
All right. Papa Wheeler in the house. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of On Target. And I'm your host, Kelvin Daly. And today I'm in with Tulu Weeks, my man from up there in Hamilton. And Danny will be absent today. He has some business on St. Kitts, and so he will not be able to make it back on time to be with us. And so my apologies for his absence. And let me also apologize for my absence last week. We would have traveled, myself and Tulu would have traveled to the wonderful Isle of Montserrat. And so if you get a chance to go up there and give your support to the people, believe me, they'll appreciate it. They're the most wonderful people. They have very little left of their island. I mean, 2/3 is uninhabitable. But the 1/3 that is left, the people there make good use of it. And I've never come across, even here on Nevis, and Tulu can testify to this, the kindness and the brotherliness of the people of Montserrat. Everywhere we went, good afternoon, how are you? It's just incredible how kind and kind-hearted the people of Montserrat are. And so it is fitting that I give thanks to all those who survive there, because it's not easy. Cost of living is very high. I mean, you went to buy a piece of watermelon and a dozen eggs was $42. So you could imagine, living there 24/7 and being in a difficult situation. But the people are very, very, very nice. It makes up for the difficulty. And so, although I met some good family members, Nurse Brenda Daly, had a long conversation with her. It's just good people. And I hope to be in contact with them, because most of the older folks who would have known my dad is from Montserrat, would have moved on to England or America or Canada. And so it's very hard. I spend a lot of time looking around for family. And it's actually Tulu's brother, Ruel, who linked us up, my cousin and I, and I appreciate that. Anyway, let me say good afternoon to all those who are on the FM dial, Twitch, YouTube, or with the Facebook feed. Pleasant good afternoon to all of you. It's a bit overcast here on Nevis today, and a bit of rain and scattered showers. The wind's coming out the south, a little chop, not too bad. And let me say good afternoon, my man Tulu. Good afternoon, Tulu.
Good afternoon, Dr. Daly. Good afternoon to our viewing and listening public. And it's indeed a pleasure being here. Yes, we were off last week. We went home to the Roots land. Dr. Daly, I'm happy that you had a blast of a time.
Okay.
And so that is something that people are missing who has never visited Montserrat. And so I encourage everybody to take the opportunity to go. A boat is running there.
You're going back soon, you said?
Oh, I think I'll be going back this Saturday again.
Next time.
So
I'll give you something to give to my cousin, if you don't mind.
No problem at all.
All right.
I'm heading back.
All
But
right.
we are now in the Easter season, and it's a time that people look forward to. Tomorrow is Palm Sunday, where people will be celebrating. Then we come to realize that 11 days after Palm Sunday, was one of the most brutal betrayal that could have ever experienced and violent crime that would have taken upon the face of the earth. And so even as you celebrate Palm Sunday, remember the day is coming and be faithful. And don't do like those who throw their palm one day and 11 days later they're saying crucify him. But make sure that after Palm Sunday you resolve that you're going to live your best life in honor of the Savior.
All right. All right, let me say, let me get to the persons who would have made podium today. And first up for the 9th week, I believe, in a row, Jetty Taylor again. Big Cooper. And then followed very, very closely by my good friend in Florida, Ruthlyn Hill. Good afternoon, Ruthlyn. And also in Florida, LCQ, Loretta Clark Wheely's in the house. And I would have, through Carlisle, sent something for her or through to her. I hope you got it. Hope you enjoy it. All right, Monica Pemberton, you're the 4th lady on the list. Monica Pemberton. And then we have Pearl Francis running the top 5. And then coming after that, my good friend from over there in Montserrat Village, originally her parents from Montserrat, also Hildred Davis is in the house. Good afternoon to Hildred. And on St. Kitts, my number 1 fan, of course, in the entire federation, Dolja Dol Penny is in the house. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. And Lorette Wharton comes up right behind that, followed by Muriel Brown. And up in the UK, Evan Jeffers is in the house. Good afternoon to both of you lovely ladies. And then we have over there in his transplanted state of Georgia, my man Ivor Henry is in the house. And so is Cecile, the dancing queen Hobson, is in the house. And Violina Ali, that lovely lady, is in the house. I met her right here in the studio some time ago. And then we have Ermine Farrell. Ermine, good afternoon to you. Hope you are doing well. Let me see if I can slide this and see who else we have in the house. Let me see here. We have, after Ermine Farrell, we have Olivia David is in the house, and she's saying good afternoon to you, Tulu.
Good afternoon.
And then Dorrit Fleming. Dorrit Fleming, a lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
Lovely lady, Dorrit Fleming. Always had a big smile. Anytime she sees him, she gives me a big smile.
I think I saw her Thursday.
You saw her Thursday?
Yeah, she was heading to the food fair.
Okay.
Lovely lady.
I didn't know she was still here. I thought she traveled.
Oh, she's here.
She's here. All right. All right. And then we have Ayonador Comwesta Muchacha over there in Bath Village, always getting younger by the day. I don't know how she does it. I think it's because she don't have no stress. She only stresses about Social Security.
I stopped using the name Iona. Everything for me is Muchacha.
Muchacha. Oh, Lord. Okay. And then who we have after that? We have Pearl, which says Pearl already. Olivia David, all those people are in the house. Oh, Joseph Brooks is in the house. Good day. And he's wishing everybody happy Easter. And Joseph is celebrating his birthday on the 27th. I think, yeah, 27th. And he'll be a grand total of 74. So you have cheated already. You already passed the average age here in Nevis, which is 72. So you got 2 years of...
Keep going, my brother. Keep going. Keep going.
Sebastian Williams, good afternoon to you. And he's in New York City. I'm saying good afternoon to all of us. Good afternoon, Sebastian. And who else we have? Muriel Brown is in the house and dancing the jig. Catherine France, raw for NRP. I like that. How are you, Catherine? And down there in St. Thomas, delicious Nichols Brown is in the house. Haven't spoken to her in a long time. Elvis Leslie is in the house. Blessings to NRP and Nevis. Thank you for that greeting, Elvis. Miller Lawrence is in the house, and he's saying, good afternoon on Target. Missed you last week. Well, we missed you guys too. You know, me and Tulu, kept wondering whether we could do the broadcast on Montserrat, but it would have been possible. Perhaps next time we can organize it and do the broadcast on Montserrat from by the water, what do you call it, under the waterfront? By the port of entry. Yeah, they're doing a lot of work in Montserrat to say get back. And then my good friend, the daughter of your muchacha friend, Adele McClendon, is in the house. And who else we have? LCQ, we said already. Yeah, Catherine France, yes.
I think Annette Morton is in too.
Annette is in?
Yes.
Okay, Bernadette Tyson, she's also in. And so who is this? Who else we have? Oh, that's it for now. I don't think I missed anybody. And you said, Chef Jeffers Lewis is in the house. Norma Jean is in the house. How I miss Norma Jean? Norma Jean, my apologies. I can't miss you. All right. I think that's about it for now. And as person sign on, then we will continue. So Joseph Brooks, I know you're a regular listener and you deserve your special day by yourself because it's the only person I know who's celebrating on the 27th that we didn't pay respects to on Thursday evening on Tell Me. I don't think that name came up. And so this song, this birthday greeting song is for myself and Tulu. And of course, Danny, who is in his absence, because if he was here, we'd sing along. So I hope you enjoy your 74th on the 27th of March. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And as usual from us in the studio, may you live to be 101 and us 101 minus a day so we don't have to see you go. May God continue to bless you with good health, strength, and of course, wealth. All right, we got a lot on the plate today, as we normally do. So we'll start off right away with two notices. First, remember last week we advertised that J.D. Keynes, the caretaker for St. Paul's Nevis 1, will be having a diaspora meeting or call it town hall that had to be moved from the March 31st until April 14th. She got herself into a new commitment with a young daughter that she has to be with. And so she will be absent from that and postpone it until the 14th of April. And so you can go to her page or on NRP page and you will see all the information. So that is changed. All right. And just a reminder, second notice, that on April 1st, we have the St. James Fishing Tournament, sponsored by, of course, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, our party leader. And that will be on April 1st. All those who are interested in participating in the fishing tournament, whether as a, if I get my boat in the water, we'll be competing. Okay. All right. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. And then if you just want to come and have a wonderful day at the beach, then you're welcome to come and join us down there at Sun Crab Hole. Down there at the end of the Newcastle Airport runway, there's a road that leads down there called Sand Crab Hole. So it's appropriate. There's sand crabs down there. So those are the two notices, and that'll be on April 1st. All right. All right. Now I'll take a look. I wish Danny was here because this is right up his alley. The next topic that we wish to discuss. All right. I've never been, and I've told you this before, I've never been to a sentencing hearing. I've been to two in the last couple of weeks, a few weeks, I should say, last month or so. And what moved me, and I've recorded this publicly, is the depth of detail that goes into sentencing. The level of care that's taken to make sure that you don't over or under prescribe a sentence. And the first one I went to moved me quite deeply because the judge in question, or resident Justice Thompson, wanted to ensure that before he sentenced the young man, that there was a plan of action for him to follow during his incarceration, so that can be a part of the guideline to how many years or whatever months he will get in his sentence, and to also ensure that once released, you fit back into society without much difficulty.
So rehabilitation
is a big part, and that rehabilitation part has stuck in my mind for a long time now.
It's vital.
All right, so for the last few weeks, I've been contemplating what to do about it. And I think at one point, Chevy had called in, and he has vast experience in the prison system, being a counselor in the UK. And then he came down here and volunteered. Danny also had great experience as an advocate, and me as an educator, and whatever else, whoever else you can get. So we want to form a volunteer group of professional people to bring some put some legs onto this idea that everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves to be rehabilitated in some fashion or form. And so I've been struggling with a name to call this program. I don't want it to be linked and say, well, I am rejecting the names like the prisoner rehabilitation program or inmate rehabilitation program. I don't want those negative connotations. And so I'm asking you guys out there, I want rehabilitation program in the name, but I don't want any negative connotation. So if you can, if you're on Facebook or whatever device you're listening on, you can communicate. I spoke to a friend of mine, and I brought the idea to him. He said, let me think about it for a minute. And he called it back, and he said, Champions Rehabilitation Program. And I said, well, it sounds good, but I'm going to throw it out there anyhow, and to see what people think, what name can we come up with for this program, because I think it's meaningful. There are 3 components to this program. 3. Psychological evaluation. I'm not certain whether, I know there's a social service report that's generated before sentencing, but I'm not certain whether there's a psychological analysis done of the person who is charged, because that will impact on how they behave and how they cooperate in prison. That's psychological profiling. I'm not certain that that's part of the sentencing. I don't think that's part of the sentencing guidelines. So the idea is to get a psychologist on board with us to advise, to do some evaluation, psychological evaluation and counseling with these souls. And then the second component is occupational / skills training, internships, on the site training, whatever we can do to generate development of skills while they're being incarcerated. Even work release as part of that program. Then there's an educational component. That's where I come in mostly, because I'm an educator and I've taught at the prison before. And so those are the 3 major components I believe will form the basis or the nucleus of a program such as this, where we can try to prevent any repeat offending when persons are released, make sure that they are mentally adjusted, make sure their skill sets are in a state that they can earn a living from it. And so those are the kind of things. So in the next coming weeks, we'll want to meet with the prison officials, because we just can't go in and say we want to do this. We have to get the buy-in from them. So hopefully we'll create a document, a program document that seeks to bring clarity to what I'm trying to say today in a very short way. Then we'll want to meet, of course, with the volunteers. We need a psychologist or psychoanalyst on the program to help us. We need more teachers. We need more skilled people to help be part of this program.
We need somebody else on the program. We need somebody to minister to the spiritual side of the individual.
I was coming to that.
So we need a spiritual leader somewhere inside there.
Okay. You're on board?
Because
I know you're on board. I'm volunteering you, all right?
No,
I'm volunteering you. The discussion is finished.
All I'm going to say here, it is a very noble idea. I hope that it comes to pass. The scripture and God gives us all not only second chance, but we believe and we understand that God is a God of another chance.
Okay.
And so it's not just a second chance, but another chance, and as much as we could give to people who wants to be helped, because the person do not want to be helped, do not understand or recognize that they need help. If we can do them anything, but persons who wants to be helped,
Well,
we can help them.
that is where the psychologist comes in. And also, it'd be interesting to get some sort of, I forget the correct term for it, but for the lack of not remembering the term, intelligence testing, where you can assess where the people are mentally in their intelligence. All right? All those things go into the program. And the last persons we will want to, well, not the last, but another group of persons we must meet with, because they must have buy-in, is the judiciary, the magistrate and the judge. We must have conference with them, and I know Justice Thompson, based on what I observed in his court, I think he'll buy into this quite easily, with his normal exuberance, for his deliberate exuberance, I should say. And so we, in the next few weeks, will get together and craft this proposal, this program. Myself and Danny, and hopefully Chevy and whoever else, you Tulu, and and so we can start.
I haven't given you a commitment on this.
And start.
I think that is beyond my pay grade. I am not one of the individual who is going to venture into something that is above my level. I'll end up looking like some persons.
Well, you don't have to craft the program, but the administration, in terms of the gospel, will be yours to do. All right.
I will ask somebody else to do that.
Adele is saying, Tulio mean voluntold.
That is exactly what you just did.
All right. You're being voluntold. I like that, Adele. Thank you for that. All right. So that's the first thing in the agenda. All right. Okay.
It will be nice to have Judge Thompson on it.
Well, I think that'd be a conflict
of interest.
Yeah.
Get some advice, some buy-in.
No, well, but we'll have to meet with him anyway.
Get some suggestions.
So that we can be part of the guidelines with sentencing. It is very important.
Explain to us the guidelines.
Yeah, no, I know the guidelines.
Okay.
Well, I know most of them. I don't know all of them. But at least it's another tool
that we can get.
That we can use to
we
evaluate.
need some information, Dr. Judge Thompson. I think he'll be open to share some valid information.
All right, here we go. Those of you who are visiting or watching the Agro Fair, the Nevis Department or Ministry of Agriculture Agro Exposition, will realize that a very interesting addition to the program up there. And let me see if I can find the picture here on my wall. Bear with me a minute while I pull it up. Oh, man, he didn't put it up. I can't believe he didn't put it up.
Okay. Explain it.
Why he didn't put it up? I'm disappointed.
I forgot.
No, I sent him since Friday. Anyway.
You missed it.
Anyway, those of you who want to see the picture that I was going to share with you can go to my Facebook page and look at it for yourself. But it's a picture of Mark Brantley, our premier, sniffing some cannabis up there at the agricultural fair on Friday. All right? And I bring that up because we have gone 180. We have gone full circle with this man when it comes to the cannabis. In 2016, when we started crafting our manifesto, NRP that is, one of the things important and central to diversifying our economy was trying to develop a cannabis industry. And I remember we having town halls, and I remember one distinctly here at the Red Cross building. And then we had one in the, I think, the credit union building. We were on the radio, we were everywhere talking about how to properly craft, with all the safeguards built in, a cannabis industry. Focusing a lot on the pharmaceuticals of the cannabis trade. And I remember going into the 2017 election cycle. NRP was in power, was the opponents, and Brantley and his crew and them were the government. And I remember clearly that on one radio program, Patrice Nisbet, former Attorney General, said, listen, Nevis has the right to develop an industry. Now, never mind that there is a illegality about cannabis. Because cannabis falls under agriculture production or agriculture cropping, then we have the right, because that is our mandate as a government. And I remember Mark Brantley get on his show on Von Radio and crucified NRP.
Yes.
We are lawbreakers. We're encouraging people to break the law, and all manner of evil. No support.
Encouraging young people to smoke.
Yeah.
Well, they're offering ganja. We are offering on the truck and some crap. I remember the bashing that we got from him.
Yeah.
It was a brutal bashing. I mean, when you had export, there was a doctor, a part of that panel, a doctor lady from St. Kitts. I think Ike was part of the panel discussing the benefits of the marijuana. And he, also the former Prime Minister, Harris, gave us a brutal tongue lashing.
It said basically over his dead body. But let us see, right? Because rather than join in with NRP and say, listen, this is a good idea. The world is moving in that direction of exploiting the potential of cannabis. Billions of dollars are being generated worldwide. In the US alone, it's a $3 billion industry and growing. Jamaica, St. Vincent were moving in the direction of that. Antigua was moving in that same direction. St. Vincent is now fully on board.
Israel, California.
Israel has been doing a lot of pharmaceutical research, trying to extract those essential components and put them into a medical environment for us to use. All right? So there's a spray for asthma, you put in your nose. There are all sort of treatments derived from cannabis.
There's an ice cream too for
there are creams. Pain, yeah. There's a whole plethora of products. There are products even for sexual pleasure, Tulu.
What?
Yeah, there are gels, creams that stimulate.
Okay. I don't need that. I'm good enough.
There are edibles, there are all sorts of things. All right? And so it's not just people puffing in a joint and getting jiggy. It's just a lot of benefits. People drink the tea for all sorts of conditions.
Tea is very good.
But here it is, the short-sightedness of a government that could not see beyond trying to score cheap political points. The NRP is trying to create a legion of smokers. That's all he saw in order to score points with the church groups, with the elderly people who are, of course, conservative in their thinking. And in some degree, he succeeded in turning a lot of people against NRP because of our position.
He succeeded.
All right? And here he is now, from 2016 to now, 8 years later, 180-degree turn, up by agrofair, smelling and rubbing cannabis to get a little, see what it's like. I remember, and I think, who does just remind me here? Gigi Skeet, she says, don't forget what he intentionally did when he sent that cannabis bill to Juicy, the then AG. He wanted it to die because he himself said, if you want somebody to die, send to Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
So this government here, whether as the NIA or as part of the Team Unity government, they had no intention of pursuing anything about cannabis. Now, Samuel Duggins have come on board on St. Kitts as the Minister for Agriculture. And Brandlin them up here trying to catch up. And they can't. Because they don't know how. And so that is where we are with that. We came to the public boldly and told them years ago that this industry is viable, it's lucrative, it can create a lot of employment, it can generate a lot of income. Let us pursue it as a country. Instead, what we got were headshots and head blows, body blows from the same Mark Brantley now who trying to generate some points for younger people and say it's about time. It's about time that we get this thing going. The same man who delayed it for 8 years is now saying it's about time to get it going. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't make this stuff up. All right?
This is the guy who keep shifting his position. And I have satisfied myself because I saw a post, Dr. Daly, I think was early this morning. And I am satisfied that he has now concluded that I can personally benefit from this because this guy only show interest in anything that he see that he can benefit. If he does not see a way that he can benefit at the front, he tear it apart. And as soon as he recognizes that there's some benefit here for him, he run with it like it is his idea. And so I'm left with the question, what does he see in this now for his personal benefit?
He got a 10-acre farm, you know. He said he can plant avocados.
So between the avocados, he can
you really believe he can plant avocados too? Come on. All these fellas are cooping. All of them cooping. All they're doing is waiting to drop in this massive amount of crops, make massive amount of money, and the people who should have been benefiting don't. That's what's going to happen. Because they're going to put the licensing so high, only people like he can afford it. Only people like him would afford it. All right?
So my assessment is on target.
Of course it is.
Oh.
Of course it is. All right. I really do hope, though, that they get this industry going, because we have seen the failure of the industries that he said he's going to bring. So he's going to bring a dog industry.
Died.
That died before he started. Then he said he's going to bring a trucking industry.
Died.
That's say he's going to bring an aggregate industry.
Died.
He's going to bring a film industry.
Died.
He's going to bring a broiler industry.
It's not yet.
He ain't hot yet. That ain't hot yet. And the one industry that he know he can bring, I could have brought years ago, Tulu. Because NRP, the one who started it, and started the discussion, he done take 8 years for him to come to realize, boy, these guys know what they're saying. Yeah. These guys know what they're doing.
Perhaps he has come full circle like the former premier, Amri. At Amri's last independent message at the park, one of the statements that he made was, he has discovered that it's foolish when you meet somebody building something to destroy what they were building in order to start over again, because you discover that sometimes it is impossible to start over. And I think that I'm reaching the point to realize, hey, NRP had some good programs for the development of Nevis. I, as a leader of the party, did not carry through on those programs, and up to today, we are still suffering and haven't gotten anything really off the ground. And so he learned. This young man who was fighting to get into the position and to happy for Amri to leave, for him to get in the position, didn't learn anything. And so he doubled down and has done far worse in what Amri did in terms of rolling back program. And like I said, he is only interested in anything or something that will put a feather in his cap where he is benefiting or will benefit personally. That's the way I see it.
You're not far off from the truth. A matter of fact, that it is the truth. Because nobody can be this deliberate in not doing things in favor of the country, but they come out richer and richer every time. So, everything he does. Gigi saying, bad-mindedness never prevail. That boy, it might not prevail, Gigi, but I'll tell you, something take too damn long to get over it.
Well, you see, it caused a lot of pain. It caused a lot of damage. But I read a Jamaican proverb or somebody from Jamaica who posted, said karma is a bitch. And what it's saying is that when you do things to hurt people, to destroy people, to stop people from benefiting for your own good, you might be able to climb the ladder for a while. But the same ladder is going to fall from under you, break under you, you're going to fall and break your back. The thing is, no matter what this gentleman would achieve in life, at the end of life, when it comes down to the final analysis, he's going to be a miserable, bitter, poor soul. Because what? His heart is not good. Yes, he will have money, but money might be able to buy him his bed, but not sleep. It might be able to buy him a big house, but not a home. He might be able to buy him the fancy wines and meals, but he will not be satisfied. He cannot be. He will not be unless he repent of this evil and asks the people of Nevis for our forgiveness for the hurt that he has caused us. Unless all of his money will value not. As a matter of fact, Solomon says that is vanity and vexation of spirit when you amass these wealth by dishonest means.
Well, the Lucius is reminding you, Tulu, that Alexis made it clear that he don't want nothing to do with geothermal, nothing in it for him. No, geothermal is a big talk. I'm wondering where he is it with that. No, it's all about themselves.
All about themselves.
All about themselves. All right, and Catherine France is agreeing with you, Tulu, that you reap what you sow.
You will.
Karma will bite you.
It will bite you and bite hard.
All right, and so you try to treat people well. You try to really be respectful of people, and then let the chips fall with him after that. All right.
This guy has respected absolutely nobody, especially those who were ahead of him. I lost it on my phone, and it grieved me when I heard Mr. Amri basically crying out and saying, listen, I had it easy, I think I had it easy with Mark. I had it easy. Listen, this man sent people to harass me and to torment me, tell me it's time for me to move out of the way. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so Amri went to his grave, feeling the pain that came from this guy who wanted him out of the way in order for him to get in.
Well, Amri done put a lot of people in their grave too.
I get involved in that. I am just talking about my Amri.
I know. All right. There was a comment here. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. All right. When I find back, I'll let you know. Now, I think it's important that I share something with you that is not political. All right? Because when I look around Nevis and see the amount of persons that are dying prematurely, in my view, when I look around and see all the persons who are suffering from chronic diseases, the classical diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, when I look and see the growing population of persons who are dying from cancer, is cause for concern. This is a public health concern. And I'm not hearing it being addressed at a policy level. I'm not hearing it being addressed at a community level to see what exactly can we do as a government or as a people or as a society or as a village to understand why are we losing so many people, so many of our young people. In days gone by when things were worse off economically, people live longer. We are now seeing people dying in the 40s and 50s. There were 2 funerals this week, young people. Wati from the Central and went, the guy from Bath, Carlos. But nobody seems to be overly concerned. It's just another death. So I have a responsibility to share with you what I believe some of the little things that will go a long way into at least offsetting or delaying chronic diseases. I started this some time ago and I stopped. I wish I had continued. But nonetheless, now and then, I would share with you my thoughts. All right? So here's my health tip for today. Now, we are in a society that is on the run. People are busy making money to pay the bills. Nobody have time to put on a good pot of food anymore. People are just eating and snatching and going. Pizzas, burgers, such and such. Those have their role. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a snack. But don't fool yourself. These are not meals. It's a stopgap.
Bellyful.
A bellyful. To prevent you from getting, nauseous because you're sick, you're hungry, whatever. We have moved away from the traditional sit-down lunch and dinner. And even breakfast with our families. People just grab and go. And so if you feel that you're one of those grab and go people, you have to be concerned about making sure you are getting the requisite vitamins and minerals in your diet every day. Because you may feel you're going okay, but the accumulated effect is going to weigh you down. Things are going to start to break and they can't get fixed. And you won't even realize it until it's broken. I think I eat pretty well. I'm very conscious of what I eat. I try to eat as much greens as possible, as much veg as possible. Meat, fish, proteins. But even at that point, when I look at how much I consume, because I don't consume a lot, I've cut back a lot on my intake, and I do my calculations in my head, I realize most days I'm deficient in certain vitamins and minerals based on my dietary requirements. So, what I'm going to share with you is very simple. If you are uncertain that you are getting enough of minerals and vitamins in your diet, I would strongly recommend that you look to supplements. I would strongly recommend that you look to supplements. As men, those things don't even cross our minds, most men.
I'm here listening to you because I'm saying I am behind the 8 ball with everything that you said.
Okay. All right. Now, sometimes people feel lethargic. They feel tired. Oh, just need some rest. Maybe that could be true. But it also can be a deficiency. Let me tell you how your body works in a very short way. Your body is a mix of a whole melting pot of vitamins and minerals that you need every day, almost every day, that go into certain systems to make them work. You cannot put water in a gasoline engine and expect it to work.
Can't work.
It will not work. You cannot put kerosene in a diesel engine and expect it to work. You're going to sputter, you're going to sputter, you're going to sputter. You cannot put diesel into a gasoline engine. All right? And so the point I'm trying to make is this. What you put into your bodies is what you're going to get out. If you want your body to function as it should, as it should when you remember when you were a child, you had energy, you had bouncing around, and now your knees hurt. You know, when you get up in the morning, your body ache, everything hurts. I'm telling you, people, it don't have to be like that. As we age, we lose a lot of our cartilage, we lose a lot of bone, we lose a lot of, hormones, and those can be slowed tremendously if we simply adjust our diet a little bit and exercise, of course. So, I take vitamin supplements every morning. And I remind you that not all vitamins are equal. If you go to Walgreens or Costco or Walmart or wherever you buy your vitamins, they're not all the same. They're not all the same. You have to be very critical in how you choose your vitamins. I'll share with you what I use. They're not cheap, but I'm comforted by knowing that I've tried all the rest, and these have the greatest effect on me. Because some of them in the old days, and what I used to before, made me nauseous. So I've come up the ladder in terms of price, but I'm good to go. Right? So the brands I use 3 brands. A brand called Pure, a brand called Fawn, and a brand called Core, C-O-R-E. Those are the 3 I use.
Go show them again.
Pure, P-U-R-E.
I think I saw that.
Fawn, T-H-O-R-N-E.
Never saw that one.
And Core, C-O-R-E. Those are the 3 brands I use. And I've settled on these 3 brands.
You find those here on the island?
No, you have to.
Okay.
I haven't seen them here.
Okay.
You get the cheaper stuff here. And when I say cheaper stuff, let me qualify that. Not all vitamin C is vitamin C when you buy it in a drugstore. And what I mean by that is this. The rate at which you can absorb it differs based on how they encapsulate that vitamin, that ascorbic acid, to make it into your system. Because there's pills, there are gels and whatever it is. And so the rate of absorption differs based on how they encapsulate the active ingredient. All right? And so if you see methylated on your vitamins or mineral, that is the one you want to get. Because before your body can use a vitamin or mineral, it has to be methylated by the body. I don't expect you to understand what methylation means. I'm just telling you, if you see methylated, that is the one. All right? Now, let's talk about vitamin C. Because we live in a tropical area, we believe somehow we're going to get vitamin C from the sun. That you can simply avoid taking vitamin C. No, vitamin C, you need vitamin C every day. And the recommended dose is 90 milligrams a day. You can get that from 1 orange. But if you don't have an orange, I ain't got nothing to make a little lemonade, or you don't have an access to any kind of citrus, get some vitamin C. Right? You need at least 90 milligrams of that per day.
But they're selling something called 1,000 milligrams. Sometimes you get it there from
the upper limit for vitamin C is 2,000 milligrams. Okay. After that, you're just wasting time, wasting money. I can actually make you feel sick too. Now, the vitamin C tablets I take is some Pure, the company Pure, the brand Core. Core. And I take one of those. One of those is 333 milligrams.
Per day.
And you know, I only need 90. So one core gel gives me 333 milligrams of vitamin C. If you want to take 3 of them, that's you. I'll take 2 if I know for the day I haven't eaten any vitamin C, any citrus, anything that vitamin C is in present. I will take 2. All right? And like I said, the upper limit is 2,000 milligrams. And the function of vitamin C. Listen to this. It functions to boost your immune system. We all know that because when you got cold, you pack up with your vitamin C. All right? It's a very powerful antioxidant. We discussed that at some point ago, what an antioxidant is. Antioxidants basically will mop up what you call free radicals and prevent them from causing damage to your tissues and triggering cancers and stuff like that. Very strong antioxidant properties. It helps to form blood vessels. It helps to form cartilage. Cartilage is so important because that is the substance between your vertebrae in your back, in your knees. It's a shock absorber. It keeps bone from rubbing on bone. And so all those persons who suffer from chronic arthritis and those kind of things, you are suffering because your cartilage has worn down.
So you call it the bushing.
The bushing. I like that. All right? The collagen in bones. Collagen is a complex protein that allows the bone to flex. All right? Very important. It absorbs, and for ladies who suffer from too little iron because of menstruation, vitamin C helps the absorption of iron into your system. Okay? Very, very important. That you get the vitamin C. Don't take it for granted. Eat an apple, an orange, whatever. You can research how much you're taking in. You need at least 90 milligrams. I would suggest a little more than that. That's just me. The most limiting vitamins, mineral for most of the population in the world, the most limiting, the thing that's most efficient in your diet, because you need so much of it every day, and we don't eat a lot of what we need. Magnesium. You heard of magnesium, Tulu?
Yes.
Okay. Magnesium is the most efficient in our diet. You need 420 milligrams per day. I take the brand Pure. They have capsules that are 120 milligrams, so I take 2 of those because I get some from my food. Any leafy greens will have a lot of magnesium. You don't have to take these supplements. If you have access to all the greens, collard greens, spinaches, broccoli, bananas, those kind of things, you can get enough of it if you eat enough of those things to get the required amount.
How much is enough?
420 milligrams.
So how much cabbage and...
Well, you can see the serving size. You can go and Google these things and they will tell you, well, 1 teaspoon of collard greens, for example, will give you 100 milligrams. So you need 4 tablespoons if that's the case.
Eat a lot of spinach.
Eat a lot of spinach. Like I said, I know I don't eat a lot of food, so I know I will not be getting enough of these vitamins and minerals.
So when the season is on, you eat a lot of those.
No, you can't do that.
No,
you can't store it like that.
When the season is on, you use a lot of the natural greens. When the season is out, then you go to the supplement.
Yeah, you can. I mean, once you get enough in your diet every day. Now, all magnesium capsules or tablets are not the same. They are vastly different in the rate of absorption and the effectiveness of the magnesium. The best one to use, and the only one I would ever consider using, is one called magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate.
I heard that name.
And if it's methylated, even more the better. Right? Magnesium glycinate. Now, what's the function of magnesium glycinate or magnesium? Every time you move your hands, your legs, any muscle, contraction, relaxation, magnesium involved. Any muscle movement, magnesium is involved. There are certain chemical and electrical pathways that you don't need to know about right now that allows you to move your hands because the muscles are moving, are contracting and relaxing. You can't do that unless there's magnesium present. So if you get cramping, if you get cramps and stuff like that, you know, tell yourself you might be deficient in magnesium or calcium or one of the other components, how that works. All right? If you feel that you're off kilter, that energy balance is not right, you're not feeling yourself, you know, tell yourself you might be struggling with a magnesium deficiency. If you feel slow and lethargic, sluggish, tell yourself you might be just deficient in magnesium. Maybe you're just damn lazy too. If you can't remember nothing, if you're struggling from day to day with your memory, you know, chances are, right? It's also good to maintain your heart muscle, the integrity of your heart muscle, your kidney function, your bone and teeth, the strength and health of your bone and teeth. All these here are functions of magnesium. So you need it.
Where do you find it in the natural foods?
Magnesium is like in like leafy greens.
Mostly in this, okay.
Or any kind of high colored foods, bananas, a lot in that. So you just have to nuts and things like that, pumpkin seeds, any kind of seeds. You just have to Google and figure is this available to me and how much can I get from a feeding, as they call it. Now, if you have low levels of magnesium, it's associated with chronic health conditions such as Alzheimer's. Chronic deficiency of magnesium can lead to Alzheimer's.
Well, that is becoming common in our society.
Very common. Now. Very common. And people are younger and younger getting Alzheimer's. All right? Diabetes. How many people do you know diabetes these days?
Lots.
A lot. And they're all young people. Heart disease. So if you're getting muscle cramps on a regular basis, and you get facial tics, you know, they get your eye jump and all kind of things like that. You get this facial spasm.
So the eyes dancing.
The eyes dancing. You feel this tick. If you can't sleep very well, and you have a chronic pain and inflammation, you know, chances are you have developed a serious deficiency in magnesium. So you need to address that. All right? And again, I would use magnesium glycinate, and I use the product called Pure, and I take 1 or 2 soft gels per day. And I must tell you, since I've been on this supplement regime, I'm bouncing off the walls. When I hear people say they're tired in the morning, lethargic in the morning, this and that, I'm ready to go. I'm getting up at 5:30. I'm doing my thing. I'm good. My thoughts are clear. My mind is clear. Not that it was never clear, but it seems clearer. You know, and so your cognitive ability seems to be enhanced for me.
So what works for you? Would it work for
Alexis? No, these things can't help Alexis. Nothing can help you.
What worked for you? Would it work for Gigi, for Loretta, for?
I would think so.
Okay.
John Hubbard is saying, smoke a joint. Hey, if it works for you, go for it.
What about drinking the tea rather than smoking it?
Well, if that works for you, go for it. Just make sure you know. Ask yourself what you're getting out of it. You know, that's what I'm saying. And then the last one I want to share with you, and one that men in particular are guilty of not understanding, is vitamin B, the vitamin B complex. B1, B2, B6, B12. we are not getting near enough. And the funny thing about it, you need such minuscule amounts. We're not talking about milligrams anymore. We're talking about micrograms. A microgram is 1,000th of a gram. Right? And so you're talking about minuscule. Not 1,000th of a gram. 1,000th of a milligram is a microgram. And so, very tiny amounts. And if you're not eating the foods that contain vitamin B complex, all the vitamin B's in it, niacin, nicotinamide, you just name all of them, B12, B6, B2, B1, you need them all in varying amounts. The recommended dose, daily value is about 400 micrograms. 400 micrograms. So very tiny. But you need it all. You need the B6, you need folic acid, and others. But here the function. Red blood cell growth. Women, you hear what I say, right? Red blood cell growth. So every month you're menstruating, you're losing all that blood cells. You need vitamin B in your system to replace, to make sure your blood cells are multiplying properly. If you feel sluggish and tired all the time, your chances are your vitamin B12, B6, your riboflavins, your niacin might be low. If your eyesight is deteriorating, you're getting more and more problems seeing, especially at night, you might probably need some vitamin B complex. If your brain fog, if you can't think clearly, you probably need some vitamin B. Your nervous system, if you're feeling anxiety and depression, it might not be a mental thing, it might be a nutritional thing. It helps your nerves, settles you down. Very good for slowing down anxiety if you're a person prone to anxiety. It also assists in the formation of hormones. And as we age, of course, men, we lose a lot of our testosterone production. That is why a lot of men get impotent as they age, because your hormone levels are declining over time. All right? Cholesterol management, you need that for B12. Your heart health, your muscle health, muscle tone, all those are B12, B6, B1, B2. Important. All right? So, what I'm saying to you folks is simple. I don't want to live an unhealthy life going into my old age. I will prefer to go early and healthy than struggle all the rest of my life, the last part of my life. And so I'm sharing these things with you because I don't want to see you like that either, when you could have been simply prevented. Keep a track of what you're eating on a daily basis. Keep a track of it. I'm not saying you have to be gorging yourself today and fast tomorrow or whatever it is. Just keep a track of what you're eating and ask yourself, am I getting enough of what I need for my body to function as I want it to function or as it should function? Because your body is kind of forgiving for a while, you know. It let you run. It let you run. And that little pain you used to get in your knee, that little pain you used to get in your back of your neck, you ignore it. It's going to pass. And it gets progressively worse. And by the time you realize that you have no cartilage in your neck, your tendons are weak, your muscle tone is gone, your liver is fatty, you're not digesting things properly, you're not absorbing things properly. So your body has the capacity to give you room for them to make a little mistake, but don't let it accumulate to the point where it becomes chronic and then you start to suffer the consequences. So that's what I'm saying. Simple. All right?
The question for you is, are you open to be the conduit to which your listeners today who might be interested in the supplement that you prefer or that you think is best, or would have said to them is best, that they could contact you and you resource them for them? And
No, see, my job is to give people point to the direction people should go.
okay,
All these vitamins are available online, whether on Amazon or wherever. And then, like I said, it's an investment in your health. Simple. They might be costly, and God knows by the time they get here and customs done with you, you pay twice for them. Because things like these, I believe, should be duty free. You're not taking them because of style. You're taking them because you want to be healthy. If you're healthy, you're going to the health centers for care will be less. Your visit to the hospital will be less. So these are kind of things that little girl who says she's the Minister of Health, these policies are something that should be emanating from her office rather than going taking pictures of all kind of trippiness. These are things she should be focusing on.
perhaps she did not know.
Then what's she doing in the Minister of
And
Health?
so it is necessary for you to go to her office and inform her. I wish that she will call you and ask you for some advice. You've been giving advice already.
When she see me in the road, she turn her face the other way.
But wasn't your colleague?
Oh, she never.
Or she wasn't at the school
Nope,
when you were there?
nope, nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Tanya Paul is saying vitamins can help Zuki to far on. He's Mr. Deficiency.
Tanya, leave my former minister alone.
Well, Sir Mark need a whole of the vitamins them.
I thought you said that you were not going to be political. And so, somebody told it in
Hey,
political.
people
now.
writing these things.
But you told them it's not political.
Well, I can't stop them from writing what I want to write. I hear the Clarkson is saying, that's why I love Vitalin Nova. I used to take Vitalin Nova tonic when I was at the college in St. Kitts because it was easy to get at Valimart and St. Kitts. It's very hard to get here on Nevis.
Okay.
But it's a comprehensive tonic. It has in everything.
So it's a good tonic to use?
Very good tonic to
So
use.
I could buy a Vitalin?
You can buy a Vitalin Nova. I have to re-examine whether the glycinate, the magnesium they use is a glycinated magnesium or something else. Because when I try taking the magnesium oxide, it really upset my stomach. It really upset my stomach. What's the best time to take vitamins? At night when you're going to bed or in the morning when you're having your breakfast?
It's not the best time when you're going to bed. No, so better.
Whenever you remember, once you remember.
You don't have that special time.
Well, most people recommend in the mornings, but I don't like to take vitamins on empty stomach.
Oh.
And so I would make sure to eat something first and then have my vitamins.
Okay.
And then studies have now shown, like for example, I would take 2 soft gels of magnesium glycinate. I'll take one in the morning and one in the evening. All right. If you want to break it up like that, fine. All kind of things you can help to help yourself. All right. What else we got? Okay. Now,
before you go, it's interesting that you do this program this afternoon because I was driving coming across the road sometime last week. And I was thinking, I'm saying, so why no, Dr. Daly hasn't given us any health tip, And so maybe it is divinely.
Okay. Well, I know persons have been contacting me, persons who went on to that 7-day trial with the anti-inflammatory program, the cayenne pepper with the olive oil and the half a lemon, and the results have been really spectacular. I've restarted mine. You don't have to do it every day, every month, but I do it regularly. Every 3 months or so, I'd go on it, and I only cook with cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is an anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Black pepper is an inflammatory product. So I would never use black pepper in my food. And I really don't want to eat out because I know people are using black pepper. But black pepper causes inflammation. What you need is anti-inflammation. And so I use a lot of I use at least a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper every day.
That's hot.
No.
I mean, every day, that one meal.
No, I would put it on my food,
Okay.
on my eggs. I eat a lot of eggs, but I put it on my eggs. Whatever I eat, I put on some cayenne pepper. I like the taste, and it's very good for you.
I love it in soup.
Yeah, it's very good. Very
Okay.
good. I get soup on papa every Tuesday, and I'll put it in. Just boost the flavor. All right, so we're back to the politics. I know Jetty Taylor and a few persons saying, and I will probably say, it took that long. We don't want to hear that about the health. We want to hear about politics.
And my partner, I'm sure he'll be happy to hear you say going back to the politics now.
Okay, we're back to politics. I want you to listen to this.
So there will be some rough patches as we go through, because the rough patch is going to come because of the CBI program. The CBI program has taken a hit. I will in the next 2 weeks or so.
Let me play that again.
So there will be some rough patches as we go through, because the rough patch is going to come because of the CBI program. The CBI program has taken a hit. I will in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay. The Prime Minister said on his Freedom FM show on Friday that the CBI has taken a hit. And in next 2 weeks, he'll give a report, a more comprehensive report as to where we are. I want to give a little bit of historical perspective. Not really too far back. 2020, 21. In 2020, sorry, the monies collected from CBI total $270 million. It's 2020. Revenue from CBI, $270 million, which is about 40% of recurrent revenue. In 2021, $543 million was collected, which accounted to 57% of government recurrent revenue. In March of 2022, our Premier Mark Brantley said that for the period 2007 to 2021, that the CBI, in his estimation, netted US $1.9 billion, or Eastern Caribbean dollars $5.15 billion. In Dr. Drew's budget speech 2023, this is what he said, and I quote, "Madam Speaker, we have forecasted that the revenue from our CBI programs will be significant over the next few months. No longer will CBI be used merely as a prop to boast about surpluses by deceptive accountants with no vision. Our prudent government will use CBI revenues to improve our healthcare, social services, energy infrastructure, and water security. In 2023 and beyond, our CBI program profit, CBI program's profit will work for all clinicians and divisions, not for one family and their close friends." So the Prime Minister, in his December 2023 address, is telling the nation that expect that CBI revenues will continue to increase under his administration. That whatever CBI revenues be coming in will be used to the benefit of all of us here on St. Kitts and Nevis. a lauded speech, critical of the past government of Dr. Harris, because he referenced that they will not be boasting about surpluses by any deceptive accountants with no vision. So he's throwing stones, he's throwing shade at Dr. Harris. Our prudent government will use CBI revenues to improve our health care, social service, energy infrastructure, and water. And then, just yesterday, he comes on the radio again and says this.
So there will be some rough patches as we go through. Because the rough patch is going to come because of the CBI program. The CBI program has taken a hit. I will in the next 2 weeks or so. So there will be some rough patches as we go through. Because the rough patch is going to come because of the CBI program. The CBI program has taken a hit. I will in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay. The CBI program has taken some licks. So we have gone from a budget speech in 2023 forecasting continued growth in the program. And 3 months later, the Prime Minister is warning of licks to come.
The CBI program, based on what the Prime Minister said December now, reminds me of the waves of the sea. At one point, it is calm and you could walk on it. And in the next couple of minutes, it is rough and you have to hide from it. So maybe that's what he's forecasting, that all the years it was calm. And now for the first time, it is taking a hit.
Let me tell you. What could have gone wrong between
December.
When the speech was made in December and now? What could have gone wrong with the program that doubled its income from 270 million in 2020 to 543 million in 2021? What could have gone wrong?
Management.
Dr. Drew installed a board of governors. There was never a board of governors for the CBI, a 4-member board, chaired by lawyer Sylvester Anthony. On that board, you had also Terence Crosman, the former CEO of the SIDF. He's now at National Bank, the chairman of National Bank. Mr. Michael Martin, he replaced Les Khan, the gentleman who managed the CIU prior to Team Unity, prior to Dr. Drew's administration coming to power. Les Khan was chased out, pushed out.
I didn't realize Les Khan was out.
Les Khan is in Grenada, building the Grenada CBI program. They brought Terence Crosman in, and to me, in my view, being the chairman of a national bank and being a board member of the Board of Governors for the CBI is a conflict. Plain and simple. Yesterday evening, I heard that the chairman, and I've been looking through the internet trying to find whether it's true or not, but I got it from a reputable source, that the chairman, Mr. Anthony, has resigned his position as chairman of the CBI.
Any reason given?
No. But hear me out. When governments come into power, as Dr. Drew's administration come into power, and as Mark Brantley's government came into power in 2013, one of their priorities is to disassemble what was there or disavow what was there to create their own.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Without really understanding the machinations of why that program should have continued, or to understand what it takes to run effective administration. They come in and throw everything out.
So says former Prime Minister Harris.
And so the throat Lescan brought in Michael Martin, who by all estimation was unfit for this position. He's not an investor. He doesn't have any portfolio to do with CBI. He doesn't understand the business, but he was brought in. He's a party hack. He's a full supporter of the party. I have nothing against Michael Martin. I've met him. He's a decent gentleman. It doesn't mean that he should be put in such a position that generates, in 2021, 57% of our recurrent revenue.
Square peg in a round hole, you're saying?
I'm telling you. And then I saw something on one of those reports. And I'm quoting, Mr. Michael Martin is implementing significant changes to the program and has launched new and stricter rules for approved real estate developments. One of those rules, these rules include that government will now determine, 1, the number of real estate units to be sold, 2, construction and completion schedules, the government will approve those, escrow drawdown processes, the government will approve those, penalties for breaching mandatory investment amount, government will approve that, projects cannot be resold within 7 years, cannot be resold to another CBI applicant, cannot be converted into apartments or condominiums. They did away with the alternate investment option and replaced that with a public good investment option. There's a new fee schedule. You see how many changes? You see how many changes? A whole bunch of changes all at once.
Turn off people.
Of course it turned off people. They were trying to, as they put it, ameliorate or decrease the anxiety of the European Union, because everybody looking in to see how these programs are managed in the region. And as Lescan said, the European Union gave no deadline. They gave no ultimatum as to when these changes should be phased in. Who goes in and carte blanche rips up everything that was there that was making money and put it in with a new program unproven? Who does that? A phased approach of implementing these new stricter guidelines
Would have made sense.
would have made sense. Would have made absolute sense.
One this year, 2
But
years from now.
Tore up the playbook because why? Team Unity's playbook.
It's a failed.
Dr. Harris's playbook. Les Khan's playbook. But look at what has happened. The Prime Minister is now on record saying expect bumps and lumps coming up.
Get a hit.
The CBI has bottomed out.
They kill it.
The CBI has bottomed out. That is why the chairman, in my estimation, has walked away. Because if I was the chairman, if I was Sylvester Anthony, and the Prime Minister go on national radio and say the program is failing, well, who you gonna look to?
Chairman.
You can look at chairman.
But in Davis is a reversal thing. The Davis economy is failing, and when you look to the Premier for answers, he is looking to the NRP, the opposition, for all the answers to all the problems that he created. And so I am in favor of Mr. Anthony to move away. from this thing.
Listen, this shit gonna hit the fan.
But
There are certain commitments that we have, social safety net programs, that require CBI funding. We in Nevis cannot survive at this point in our future, in our history
without those
without
CBI.
CBI monies. Right? And if Mark A.G. Brantley was cut from the cloth of a true leader of the opposition, this matter should have been ventilated in the House. But he's so busy trying to get in Drew's good graces. He's not holding the government to account.
But he told
because his office, his law firm, deals with CBI. I shared with you a letter, a solicitation letter that his daughter wrote to the, what do you call them now, the vendors, I call them, of CBI across the world, saying, we do CBI here at Daniel Brantley. We have an interest. If you want to get your program, you want to get your passport, come to us. We can get it done for you.
So you're saying that he should have been the leading voice, and I think
he is required by law
to be the leading voice.
To be the leading voice in the House about this matter. You're talking about a program that generates over 50%. 50%
of our revenue.
And you're silent as a minister of the leader of the opposition?
I think it's gone.
How can this be right? You have not heard a statement from the leader of the opposition. The prime minister is on radio telling us expect lumps and bumps. And the leader of the opposition sits back and says nothing. The same leader who talking about, oh, we need to get our fair share. Fair share of nothing is nothing.
If it's one time that he has been true to his word, is in disregard. Because his very first presentation after the administration change and he was appointed to the position, he said that he's not going to be, basically not going to oppose the government or be fighting against the government. He's there to support the government. And so he's doing that. So he has been true to his word for one time in his life. He has been true to his word is this. But to the detriment of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because if this program, and then you said that it bottom out, I am saying that they pull the bottom out of the program. Because all of these changes that were implemented one time has basically pulled the bottom out, not the bottom out of the program.
These same guidelines that were sent down, handed down too by the EU and the US and all kind of things. Grenada got them. St. Lucia got them. Dominica got them. Antigua and Barbuda got them. We got them. 5. None of those 4 others have done a thing to change your program. None of them.
We are the most proactive.
We were hoping, the thinking is, or the thesis is, that Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, Grenada, they're going to come under the hammer blows of the US and Canada and EU. And so, when the program is decimated, we'll be all the ones standing. And so only people now come to us exclusively. It hasn't happened. It has not happened.
But we did it in the past, Dr. Daly, with the offshore registry, where the US wanted Dr. Douglas to give them the information, all the information. Douglas said, we are an independent nation. This is our thing. We're not going to give you all our information, put it in your hand. The government changed, and immediately, what was the first bill that was passed in our parliament? To turn it over all to them, and then complain afterwards and says, the Caribbean need to come together to push back against the United States, because the United States doesn't seem to realize that we are independent people. Now, here it is that we have come full circle, that these guys have done the very same thing that they criticize, and I criticize Harris and his administration for. And now they have come done the very same thing and even worse.
The thing that bothers me is that Dr. Drew and his government, ever since their evolution to ascension to power, have been trying to prove that they're better than Team Unity, that they're better than Dr. Drew, than Dr. Harris. And that is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. There's nothing wrong with a measured approach to change. But the minute you start to cut and burn, slash and burn, and you remove that institutional memory from the programs, you're liable to make mistakes. And that's exactly what's happened here. They put a board in place, none of them of any value to the program. They're simply there because Dr. Drew wanted to make sure he's different. They chased out the one person, Les Khan, who knew the system in and out. Rather than managing him to have the contacts and everything else, he took that program to Grenada. He walked with it. Galaxy, the same woman there from Galaxy, went with Les Khan to Grenada and took all those development programs to Grenada. So when the premier came back here,
and it's talking about...
I'm talking about the beauty of Grenada. What do you think happening?
The hive of activity.
The hive of activity.
It's because of the CBI program. And
Hey.
Wow.
These things are connected. These things are connected. Money follows money. Listen, I will say again, anytime you have a government coming into power and they feel they have to go 180 from what they met there, look for trouble.
But the Prime Minister should have learned from what happened in Nevis.
What happened in Nevis?
Nevis was moving ahead. Government change, Nevis went backward. Government change again, Nevis started moving ahead to the point where the opposition said to the people, hey, this government is doing too much. We need to get rid of them. And the people say, yes, they're doing too much, we got rid of them. And we has gone backward again.
There's a comment here from Yassan. Grenada has made some changes. They have even rebranded theirs. They renamed it something about migration. They don't call it CBI anymore. Let me take this call. Good afternoon, on target.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
I had a feeling you would call.
Hello?
I had a feeling you would call.
Well, I mean, this is really concerning news. I mean, everything you said there, I mean, if that's correct, we indeed do. Right? I think I remember asking one time if Lescan has important, whether trade secrets or skills that we may need to keep him. Right? Well, apparently, the decision was made to let him go, and I think this may be partly the result, right? Whatever is to be said about him, okay? And what you just said too about Grenada makes sense. I mean, I saw, well, first of all, you realize that Grenada reports in detail the CBI program. How many passports were sold, countries they were from, how many were rejected, those kinds of things. That kind of detailed reporting. Yet, I think last year they did 725 million, I think, and they're on track this year apparently to reach $1 billion in revenues from their passports. From passport sales. Right? And, you know, I didn't know that was where Lescan went to, but it makes a lot of sense, and you know, we're, as a result of that, I think we're in trouble. Well, I'm hoping that what you're saying is exaggeration, but the mere fact that the Prime Minister sort of gave a heads up he was prepping. It seemed as if he was prepping the country for bad news.
Yeah, seems that way.
Right? And I mean, if that is so, I mean, it's more than a bad patch we're going to be in, based on the fact that it comprises so much of our revenues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Nevis will be in trouble, I would imagine, St. Kitts as well, and we're going to have to find something to make up the gap pretty fast. A lot of, it seems as if Nevis's geothermal may be the hope, okay, the great hope.
Mm.
And, I guess we have to wonder, it explains the coziness of the relationship between the leaders of both islands.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you something. If you were in the shoes of the former chairman of the board of governors for the CBI, and you hear your prime minister get in the radio and said the thing is failing, what will you do?
Well, I guess he fell on his sword.
You see why I like you? Because you think exactly like me.
Yeah.
He fell on his sword.
He fell on his sword. That's essentially what he did. I mean, and not only that, whereas in the past, where other people have messed up, might have been kept on, I think the mere fact that he feels that there's no way back from this, that it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Mm.
And he felt that he probably had no choice. But it all spells, it's a bad omen, I think for us. And as you pointed out, or someone pointed out, the opposition should have been, instead of this cozy kind of relationship, that is not the job of an opposition.
Mm.
Right? It is not. Not in a parliamentary democracy. I don't care what they say. You can have great chemistry between the two leaders. That's fine. You will absolutely have to be in contact with each other and cooperate and that sort of thing for the benefit of both islands. But you've got to keep an eye on the government. That is what you're there for, primarily. Okay? And if you abdicate that role, you're going to have all kinds of bad things happening. Right? And I think that is where we're at right now. Something that we do, things just come back to bite us. And I think this is one of them. What happens going forward? It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't think geothermal, let's hope, but I don't think geothermal is going to come on stream for a couple of years yet. From, sometimes how they talk, it sounds like it's independent, but it's going to be another industry and we have this money. The money that we have right now, as I understand it, is to start a production well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes, 17 million.
Right?
Yeah.
Still have to do the plant and those kinds of
distribution,
things.
and transmission.
I think we're probably looking years, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's got to be something that's going to be quicker than that, because one, people very impatient now, and the visions might be otherwise. I mean, they've given the premier lots of passes, but generally speaking, I think people are very impatient now. They have high expectations, and you would think that with all the propaganda and the PR and so on, that the government would have been in a better position now in terms of consolidating itself.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as you pointed out, this always seems to be in defensive mode. Okay? And looking back, trying to outdo, as you said, what Team Unity did.
Mm.
right? Which is fine. I mean, you want to do that, but don't make it your mantra to the point where, you know, you neglect what really you should be doing, which is making sure that you provide the environment for growth, more jobs, more investment, you know. Not trying to outdo the social programs and so on. That's what it is.
What bothered me, Carlo, is the fact that when the whole suite of changes that the CAU and the governors had decided to put in place all at once, that really concerned me. And it seemed that he has driven the investors away, you know. And what do they do now? Do they roll back some of those draconian changes, or?
Well, they have to do something. The thing is, in the financial services industry, I would imagine people don't like drastic changes. You know, uncertainty is not well received. Okay, and when you do things in a drastic way, it suggests you know, you're essentially using a hatchet when you should be using a knife. You know,
or a needle.
Two different things, right? And I think that is probably what may have happened. Because if our CBI takes a hit and the other countries haven't, then obviously we do something wrong. I mean, that much is going to be obvious. So let's hope it's just exaggeration, that it's really not as bad as we're being prepped for, and that we can somehow recover from this, because, you know...
Listen, investors are looking for a soft landing. Let's put that way. And soft landings are available in Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia. That's where they're going to go. I mean, why pay for a passport $300,000, $400,000 for a family, and you can get it in Antigua for $150,000, or in Dominica for $200,000, or in St. Lucia for $175,000? Why would you do that? One thing about rich people, they're not rich because they're foolish with their money.
That our program, according to Henry, was the best.
Yeah, of course it is.
So don't people want the best?
Listen, let me tell you something. There was a hit put on this island in the Pacific called Vanuatu, right, by the European Union. 27 members in the European Union. And they squeezed the life out of Vanuatu with their CBI. Vanuatu has made more money since it squeezed than before, because other countries have come on board.
Yeah.
Right? You might not be able to go to the European Union. You might not want to go to France or Belgium or any one of those countries in Europe, but you might want to go to Asia. You may want to go to the Caribbean. You may want to go to the Pacific. You may want to go to Australia. Those countries are still available, right? So by the European Union taking off their members as travel free, the people are still buying Vanuatuan passports, CBI, to their CBI program in greater numbers. So you have to weigh what people want. The Russians want to go to Europe.
You got to know the industry.
You have to know the industry.
I think that's probably what happened. You know, let's scan for all the criticism and so on.
He
probably
knew
it inside out.
He knew it inside out.
And you know, the results show it. You know, so I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. You know what? You know what we could do. You know, they had this thing. You know, they have this thing called reverse mortgage, where you can use your house to get cash.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have thousands and thousands of citizens. Maybe we can tax them.
Okay, that's a novel idea.
There,
uh-huh.
Put a small tax on them, and yes, it may discourage others from getting it, but at least all those citizens that we have, we can get something else from. Probably put a proviso: if you invest certain amount in the country, then you're exempt from the tax or something like that. But that's what we may have to do.
So what becomes now of Dr. Drew's plan for a sovereign fund? Because if you are not realizing the income anymore, what's it called, the flows, then that whole scheme about a sovereign wealth fund, I like the idea.
Well, yeah, but you think is the sovereign fund might take the hit first? What about the social program?
The social program definitely can get cut back. They will get cut back. And listen, I understand the plight of poor people. I'm poor, all right? There are people poorer than me, so I don't want to insult really poor people. But we have to recognize simply this: if you're going to do a dividend payout, right, across the population of St. Kitts and Nevis, it's a noble idea. It's a novel idea, but it is not producing. It will not produce anything over the long term, right? If you had said, listen, those dividend payouts, those whatever else social safety programs, we're going to manage them, make sure they don't get out of control, and start to build a sovereign wealth fund from that so we can survive from a rainy day. I would have supported it.
But that was the problem from the start. I mean, when you look at how many billions the CBI made, at some point, somebody got to ask, well, what really did we do with all that money? And if the answer is giving hands out and putting it all into social programs, then that was bad policy. You know, and it can be continued. The attempt to, like I said, outdo team unity with these kind of trinkets and giveaways and so on is going to would backfire.
Yeah, and he has backfired.
Although it may win re-election, but in the long term, I'm not so sure it's the best way that we can use these funds. We should have been using the funds for more productive use.
I remember
really getting pillars of the economy.
I'm a fan of Singapore's leadership back in the day when they moved Singapore from a backwater to one of the leading industrial countries. And one of the things that struck me was their absolute direction, unwavering commitment to higher education. Not only higher education as academics, but skills training, entrepreneurship development. And the government gave so much resources to people to get them started. You know, investing in a skill set so they can develop the country from inside. I've always advocated a lot of that money that comes into CBI, that we should have had an active, very vibrant education endowment fund, right? I know Dr. Douglas did the framework, the skeleton framework, when I was at the college, but no money was ever put in. Right? We need to now use that as one of the CBI options. Invest in education. That money goes into a sovereign, not in a sovereign fund, into an education fund. Right. So that persons who want to go and study, if you want to build capacity here on St. Kitts and Nevis through the Sixth Form College in Nevis or at the CFB, you have the capacity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lose by investing in education.
You can't. And
even if the country, even if they migrate, at least they'll be okay. You can't lose. You know something? I was at the college when a professor from the university came here to launch the, I think it was then level 1 program. Mm-hmm. And I remember Dr. Douglas making a speech then. He came out to the college and made a speech. In it he said his vision would be to see a campus of the university.
What year was that? What year was that?
That would have been, I retired in 2005. So it would have been, probably a year or two before that.
Okay.
And I remember the professor saying, good luck with that. Knowing the politics of the university, good luck with that. But the point is, Gaston Brown got it done.
Yes, he
It
did.
was not that it was impossible. And if you're really interested in developing the country and its people, you have to invest in education. We have to increase the tertiary level access, and the numbers being churned out should be increased. I'm not so sure what the percentage is.
It's about
right
50.
Now,
It's about 15%.
It's
It's about 15% right now.
15?
15, 1-5.
I'm sure that's far below what developed countries.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago is at 50-something%.
Well, you see, how are we going to compete with that?
Can't. And that's the problem with the CARICOM free movement now. That you have put yourself in a position to sign off on this free immigration policy come the end of this month, and you have not put into place a system that allows your population to access education and skills training to a significant degree, to compete with the bigger countries that will be selling people down here. I don't understand it.
It all comes back to policy. I know it's not popular, but I am one who is against the construction of the state-of-the-art Varsity High School. I felt that that was going backwards, back to the day. Because I started teaching in Sandy Point High School. I know the problems that we had then, where everybody wanted to send the child to Varsity because they felt it was superior education. We don't want no elitist education, no state-of-the-art elitist education. What they should do is have a state-of-the-art college that eventually could be a university, but a state-of-the-art college that everywhere, every part of the federation can benefit from, rather than have a state-of-the-art high school that's going to be, and the optics is so bad. Most of the students who are probably going to go there are going to be from the border of Philip Bay, the Fun side, those areas.
Yep.
Back to what happened to our egalitarian in education.
I'll tell you something, Carla. I'll tell you something. In 2015, I made a presentation to the full cabinet on St. Kitts. Dr. Douglas, of course, was the Prime Minister. 2014, sorry. Full presentation. In my possession, during the presentation, were drawings for a new college, a new university up there at, what do you call it up there now? Trinity. The guy there, what his name is, he used to be in communications. He was a board member of the board. And he took me to the site. 90 acres free clear land the government owned. And the young girl, the architect Camille Kelly, she took months and months and months of her time free designing a new campus for Clarence Fitzroy Bryant to move away from town up to Trinity. Right? When I made the presentation to Dr. Douglas and his cabinet, Dr. Douglas asked me, how much would this cost? I said, sir, we're looking at about $90 million to start. And he said, that's about 30 passports, 40 passports. I can't remember exactly how much passports. But he had already calculated in his mind how he going to pay for it. Yeah. When I left, well, I should say when I left, when they threw me out of the college in 2016, all those drawings were left on my desk for whoever came in to continue the pursuit. Because my argument, which was an argument that was accepted by Dr. Douglas in his cabinet, CFB, where it is, cannot supply the kind of training that we need. Cannot do it.
Can.
And if we're trying to get...
That's what I was saying. I mean, use there as a next past year high school. This is an upgrade from what they had anyway. And use the money to upgrade all the other high schools, because they have problems too, to the same level. Upgrade them. But have this, when you're talking state of the art, go for the college.
And I said to them, listen, if we don't train a critical mass of our people in the skills and academia, we will be at a distinct disadvantage.
Definitely.
We are talking about building a country. We are talking about building a country, having tourism, having this, having that. And then having to bring in workers because our people are not trained. How can this make any sense to anybody?
But I don't, and I don't know who listening. That's the problem. I find people make these kind of suggestions and so on, but I don't think anybody listens. The government listens, or they're on a path where they're a set path, which they don't want to waver from. But I mean, to me, these things are obvious.
There's one thing that can do immediately to help the process. They can merge AVEC on the CFB to give AVEC a little more gravitas, because a lot of people don't want to go to AVEC because they feel it's a certificate program, right? Merge it on the CFB technical division, right? And get the kind of administration, the kind of access. You don't have to duplicate.
Right.
You don't spend a lot of money doing nonsense. You understand? And a simple thing like that would elevate that program. Expand the offerings at CFB to include non-traditional items like landscaping and, those kind of things, that marine small engine repair. You join...
Well, at the very least, everybody coming from those institutions should be able to get a CARICOM certificate, the very least.
And that is what we were hoping to do, was to convince the government to bring AVEC under us when I was at CFB. And so all the programs will be certified. So when you travel to Trinidad and you present your CARICOM certificate, you have a certificate to say, listen, I'm a skilled mechanic. I'm a skilled IT technician. I'm a skilled this, I'm a skilled that. But you see, it's like people are protecting the little turf.
Yeah.
Rather than look for the general good of the country, we tend to isolate and put into silos different things for ourselves. And while the country goes to hell in a basket, or waste money duplicating things.
You know what the rejoinder is going to be, right? We are the leading economy in the Caribbean.
Yep.
Highest human development index.
Yep.
All those things.
Yep.
So we must be doing something right. Forgetting that other countries are going to be playing catch up, and if we keep on the track that we have, we're going to be at a standstill. We have to maintain our leadership. That should be the objective, and stop this. We're too inclined, I think, to self-congratulation. It's too self-congratulatory and laid back. And I don't think that's going to get us where we want. But we see.
All right.
But honest to goodness, I don't understand how the Premier can get away with it. I don't understand it. He's less arrogant now, right? I think he's playing down a lot, right? But, he really should have been out of it. When you talk about changes and, going forward and so on, he should have been out of there a long time ago. A long time ago. Anyway.
We'll get to him, man. Don't worry. Thank you, caller.
Okay, then.
All right. We kind of detoured there, but it's a good detour.
The conversation was
and
good.
this is what we endeavor to do here on this program. We're not just political. What do you call it now? What Mark call us? Anarchists. We try to bring light to very compelling situations that we find ourselves in. And I will repeat what I just said and repeat what the caller said. If we had a proper leader of the opposition in Mark Brantley, a lot of the things that need to be ventilated in our parliament would have happened. But he simply agrees with everything. He never objects to anything.
He promised that.
So he shouldn't be calling himself the leader of the opposition. He should be calling himself the leader of the proposition. Because he's not opposing anything. He had a whole budget presentation in December 2023. No problem. Everything is just dozy. We have this crisis on our doorsteps now with CBI. No problem. Everything is just dozy. You understand? We have immigration on our doorsteps come March 31st. Free movement, unrestricted movement. No problem. The government is doing fine.
The bigger things that are affecting the country, Dr. Daly, he has nothing to say. The NRP is offering advice as how to better the economy of Nevis and to get it developed. And he serves as political what? Anarchists?
Agitators. I'm reminded here by Delicious Antonia. We are agitators.
But agitation is good.
Hey.
But it's pure advice that we were offering to him. Good advice.
I am not an agitator.
But the thing is,
I take umbrage to being called an agitator. I will not allow anybody to define me as an agitator.
Okay, we encouragers then. Motivators.
I'm an enlightener.
Okay. That is so much better.
I'm an enlightener. I don't agitate. I don't agitate nobody. You understand? We bring the facts. We bring the facts to the people. We bring all the information to the people. We're not filtering anything out. You've heard me in this program criticize the former Premier of Nevis, Joseph Parry. You've heard me criticize Henry Daniel. You've heard me criticize NRP. Unfiltered.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So I'm not an agitator. I'm an enlightener. And those of us who take the time and energy, because nobody's paying us, This program is not paying me. My work at NRP, I've never gotten a cent.
And you put in a lot of work.
And I put in a lot of work. So does Carlisle, so does Toulouse, so all of us. So we're not agitators, we're enlighteners. We shine the light of scrutiny on the occurrences that are happening. The bright light of scrutiny.
And at the same time, we are offering good advice, sound advice.
Okay.
But the Premier has not grown in the office that he
has shrunk the office.
Because he either do not have the interest in growing, or he just do not have the capacity to grow. I don't know which is the correct one. I believe that he doesn't have the capacity. Somebody might say that he doesn't show the interest. But another thing, Dr. Daly, there's nothing wrong in trying to outdo an outgoing administration in terms of performance. In order for you to do that, you have to build on what is there. And here's the wisdom. We go back to the fisheries project. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Thursday night that you met a program there. Mm-hmm. And what you try to do, and the Nevis Island administration led by Joseph Parry to do, is to improve the program. The CCM who started the program, rather than saying, hey, NRP has tried to improve it to this level, so let us take it to a higher level and add some more component. No. They decide that they're going to destroy what they started.
Let me tell you something. The project was complete.
Okay.
The project was complete. We lost the government in December of 2013. The project was to break ground in April of 2013.
Just to go forward.
Everything was done. All the components, all the town halls were finished, all the consultations were finished. Everything was done. It's just to know to put
down the physical thing.
Yeah, that was it.
And this guy who started it, they're the ones who started it. And you try to improve it. We're talking about...
We not only improved it. What we met there was a concept.
At least there was a concept.
And what we did was take the concept and develop the concept into actual project. And that is what irked them. Because Ted Hobson said it. This project will see daylight over my dead body.
He vowed to kill it.
This project will see daylight over my dead body.
And he was the chairman of CCM at that point?
I don't remember. He was a legal advisor.
Okay, legal advisor.
All right? And all those gentlemen who stood in opposition to this project. Zook Jeffers has lost his seat. The other two, Ted Hobson, and I don't know what become of Ken Evelyn. I understand he is struggling with health issues.
Have mercy, Lord.
And of course, Eustace Hunkins, he approves the project. He was brought in to give remarks about the location. He was brought in by Ken Evelyn. Then no longer in the way. And where's the project?
Project died.
Okay. Folks, that is for today. We are now 3:15. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your indulgence. And we are out of here until next week. You remember, Holy Thursday is this Thursday, so we are off on Tell Me, but we are back on target on Saturday.
And I will not be here. Perhaps I should be back home.
If you're in Montserrat, then hopefully me and Hensley will be here to hold the ship. And we'll talk before that anyhow. We do thank each and every one of you for staying the course. If you're on FM dial, YouTube, Twitch, or on Frida on the Facebook feed, thank you all for your patience and indulgence and your comments and your encouragement, your prayers, everything. We appreciate it. We don't take it for granted, believe me. To the caller, thank you very, very much. Your input is always appreciated, because you always come with the kind of thinking that would move this federation forward. Thank you, sir. That is it for us. We are done. Thank you very much. We're out.